Delegates and guests, please welcome Tony Thurmond, Superintendent of Public Instruction of the State of California.
Just bust the move. Thank you, DJ. Democrats, let me hear you say, yeah. You are passionate and powered by passion, and we're going to win the White House again in 2024. It is my honor to be your state superintendent for all of our schools in a state where we provide universal meals for every single hungry student, preschool for every 3- and 4-year-old in our state, and we are providing 10,000 counselors to address the mental health needs of every one of our students. And in California, we don't ban books, and we won't allow for book banning or anyone who bullies our LGBTQ+ kids. We talk about race and the impacts of racism, and we will make sure that our students have access to ethnic studies so our students can learn about the contributions of their ancestors. As you know, our students have been through so much, the pandemic, the acts of hate that we've seen, but our students are resilient, and we know that they can overcome trauma. I know a little something about overcoming trauma, having lost my only parent, my mom, to cancer when I was 6 years old, found my dad on the internet. He was a Vietnam vet who never came home after the war. I ended up being raised by my cousin, who I never met until I showed up on her doorstep. There were many times when we didn't have food in our household, but I grew up eating the free lunch program and food stamps and government cheese. For those of you who haven't had the pleasure, government cheese, that box of cheese in a block, wrapped in super thick plastic that if you got through it, it just might be the best grilled cheese or quesadilla you ever had. And when you're hungry, you're glad to have it. These programs help my family overcome poverty. The most important program to help me and my family overcome poverty is getting a great education. Let us keep the promise of that for our 6 million students. Let's educate and not incarcerate our kids and keep the promise of a great public education. We've all been through so much. We've got to stand together to overcome these challenges. And I hope that you will continue to join with me as we provide the leadership to move our state forward, to tackle the tough issues, to address homelessness. We have more than 200,000 unhoused children in our state, 10,000 who are on their own. We must address crime and safety, our environmental challenges, our economic challenges, and we must make it possible for all Californians to be able to afford to buy a home in the great state of California. Let's make the California dream a possibility once again for Californians. I hope that you will join me in our efforts. We're going to make sure that every student learns to read by 3rd grade. Because when you learn to read, you can read to learn anything. Kids who learn to read graduate. Sadly, those who don't end up in the criminal justice system. So let me hear you say, yeah, we're going to help our kids learn to read by 3rd grade. We're going to teach them personal finance so they can go to college and graduate without debt. We're going to make sure that they have a chance to be stewards of the environment and learn service learning and help to offset the challenges of climate change. As we speak, we're providing them arts and music education and STEAM education so they can get jobs in computer sciences. We will keep the promise of education for our 6 million students and keep the California dream for our 40 million Californians in the great state of California. Thank you, Democrats.